Greetings, customizers, and here we are with the next episode of the Night Force tutorial. Like I said before, I was a little indecisive, but I'm going to do the clear coating with you here, so this is going to be a live product test. Well, I have used Mission Models products before. This will be my first time using one of their clear coats. The reason why this is important is because I've never used it before, and semi-gloss is my favorite sheen on the spectrum of clear coats. Mission Models is an American company. I have used their paints when building model airplanes and some of my customs before, and I quite like them. Just to read some of the nomenclature on the bottle here, so we'll call this almost like a product review because we haven't spoken much about Mission Models paints yet. It says premium hobby paints that are water-based, scale modeling, matte finish airbrush colors that are light, fast, and durable. For use with all airbrush types, works great sprayed directly from the bottle or reduced in any ratio with Mission Models thinner. Recommend to wear a NIOSH or MSHA approved respirator while spraying paint. So they even give you a little bit of a health tip in there. So they're like, hey, use our stuff and be safe and have fun while you're doing it. Sounds familiar? Because it is. So there you go. And it's got a little picture of an airbrush on there already saying that it's ready to go straight out of the bottle. I have used their paints before, and like with anything else, I do tend to put a little drop or two of thinner in the airbrush before or with the product, just to be on the safe side. But I'm going to try this straight out and see what happens. I gave my brush a good cleaning after doing that yucky fluorescent orange paint, and we're going to give it a go. So before we start that, let's take stock of where we are in the project. I've got all of the orange bits painted that are going to be orange on this project. So that's the ordnance, the engine thruster, and the lasers. And we've done all the detail painting that we need to because we couldn't take apart the Firebat. It was a bit of a headache. And so far, the paint wear upon movement of parts is minimal. There's a little piece there, and I get that. But overall, considering what we've had to do with this, is quite acceptable. I've used detail brushes to get paint in all the parts to make it look like I disassembled it. And as it stands, we are sitting pretty to clear coat and finalize this design. The other thing that we also did was, of course, tint the canopy to match that Night Force aesthetic. So yeah, it's backwards, but just so you can see the tinting effect on the cockpit. So we are good to go. I am going to start clear coating, and we have to clear coat this in the same way that we painted it. Because basically a clear coating is just adding another layer of paint. It just happens to be transparent. Not like the tinting color, but you know what I mean. And I sat these pieces in here just for storage purposes. I don't care if any paint comes off from inside the clip there or underneath because you can't see it anyway. So without further ado, let's begin. This process will take a little bit longer than a normal clear coating process simply because I have to take into account that I've got to clear coat paint in place, and then I've got to fold the wings and then clear coat the parts that are hidden. In that case, these little bulges here, because we're trying to protect the paint and the clear coat to allow it to do its thing while maintaining our paint coverage. So I am anticipating some paint removal upon working, like there's that little bit there, but that's the sacrifice we had to make, right? Because the last time I disassembled a Firebat, it absolutely blew up in my face, almost literally. So anyway, enough said about that. Let's get all the parts together that we need to, and let's begin. All right, so we are going to start with the fuselage because that is the scariest part. Actually, no, that's wrong. We're going to test a new product. We're going to do it on something that's slightly expendable. And it's not even going to be the ordnance, actually. You know what? It's going to be the chair. Because I brush painted the chair with the gray that I used on the rest of the project. In fact, all the gray was brush painted on this project. But we are definitely going to clear coat that. And we'll try it on the engine too. Why not? Because that's also going to be 100% hidden. So if something goes absolutely pear-shaped and I have to repair something or whatever, then you won't notice it anyway. So we'll give it a shake. Like I said before, it's got a mixing ball in it, which I really like, because anything with a gloss in it becomes a little thicker. Not gelatinous per se, but, well, it's just thicker. So the mixing ball in there is a nice touch. Some paint companies are starting to do that now more and more, which I really appreciate. You can also do that yourself, by the way. If you have a small ball bearing or something like that, you can just screw the cap off, throw it in there, and then you've got your own mixing balls. Some people do that with their Tamiya paints as well. I don't, but it's totally a thing you can do. So there we go. Shake, shake, shake like it owes you money. Most of these things say shake well, so it's like, what is well? Some of them will say shake slightly. It's like, okay, I'm good. Just kidding. Here we go. All right, so let's get the seal off. And so far, so good. And we'll squirt that back on, or screw that back on, and we'll squirt it in the airbrush. I'm going to be using Vallejo's thinner because I too like to live dangerously. And let's go from there. Let's try this again. I am going to mix in my cup because, well, it's one thing you can do. Get my mask back on, and we'll try respraying with some thinner. Okay, well, there we go for now. That's going to be the first coat. And once it cures, I'm going to make the decision of whether or not it is too shiny for my needs. While I do love a semi-gloss, like I said, some companies semi-glosses, other companies gloss. As far as a product goes, it certainly works very well. definitely put a little bit of thinner with it, or treat it as you would any other paint, especially because it does have that gloss aspect to it. But it certainly exits the airbrush well once you get it humming and singing. So as far as a product goes, this stuff is very good. Whether or not it's actually the sheen I want for this project, well, we'll find out when everything fully dries. And the good news is that's why we put the stickers on last, is we can mess around with the sheen on our project as we see fit. So give me a couple of seconds here, magic seconds, for this thing to dry, and then we'll carry on from there. Here we have the Night Force Fire Bat. I'm going to call it the Night Dagger from now on. Another project in the future will be called the Night Sword, and I'm definitely going to share that process with you because it's going to look awesome. But I digest. So here's what we've got. Before we put on stickers, we want to make sure that we like what we've got, right? If we're unsure about something, then we want to change it and carry on from there. So in this case, I like the effect of the tinted canopy, so that's definitely a stay. I mean, look how glorious that looks. I love it. I like the gray fins and wings, so that's definitely a keeper, and it's providing the contrast I wanted, so we're happy there. Looks good from the top, looks good from the sides, and looks good from the bottom. And speaking of the bottom, there's all of our orange ordnance there, with the base-coated orange followed by fluorescent orange, with the lasers up front and the engine in the rear. There's a couple of considerations here, and that's the fun part and the frustrating part. So in this case, the Firebat being so small, relatively speaking, there's certain places where you have to put decals or stickers because it's either an open space or that's the only choice you have, which will make it a little interesting to not over saturate the custom with glow-in-the-dark stickers. What I'd like to do is get a Night Force logo here. I want to get that star here on both sides. And then on the wings, I'd like to put a Night Force logo here and the third star there, just to provide some glow-in-the-dark from the top. Because this will stand like that. The wings do function, so even if I fold them up or whatever, that's one thing. But if I have the wings out like this, which makes it look the best, I do want to have some glow-in-the-dark on that side. On the bottom, I'm not too concerned. The only really, I won't say really good place. I mean, you can put them wherever you want. There's a bit of a place here for it, but I'm not chomping at the bit to necessarily put any glow-in-the-dark on the bottom. And then we have, of course, the split in the fuselage here, where there might need to be something just on the lower half of it, just to bring that forward. So when I was looking at these sticker sets, it's this here in the top left corner, this G.I. Joe serial number combo sticker, I thought would actually work quite well up here, and that would have the glow-in-the-dark line, or representation if you will, on the forward edge of the custom, so you'd have the orange, the black, and the glow-in-the-dark. I think I might have just said fluorescent orange for the glow-in-the-dark sticker, but you know what I mean. It's only coffee number 27, so bear with me. And I know the star is going to go there, like that is the place for it. You know, that's going to sit right there, and I think that's going to look fantastic. Nothing's going to go on this outside fin, and I'm fine with that because you'll already have a sticker here which will cover that piece. And it's fine to have some color still showing. I mean, we're not trying to cover this thing in glow-in-the-dark stickers. We want to present a nice balanced project. So you may wonder, you know, did you want to put the star back there? And well, it looks okay back there. I think leaving the fins blank would be a bit of a crime because it's a nice big area for a sticker, and I think that the gray, the black, and the glow-in-the-dark color would look really fantastic right there. And certainly earlier in the tutorial series, remember I was concerned about how much gray there was. Well, that black circle there will actually knock that back just a bit and probably give it just a little bit more visual interest as well. The other concern was during my pre-visualization, I wanted to have a large G.I. Joe Night Force emblem, and I pictured this one in particular somewhere down here, but I think it's going to be blocked too much. I'm still really debating, because if I use the big G.I. Joe and I need to put a big serial number on it, the serial number would have to go here right in front of it, which is fine enough, but then I would have the Night Force logo up here and absolutely nothing up here. I have some small stickers I could put on these forward little wings here called canards, but I'd rather save them for another project. The ones I was thinking of were these little stars with dashed lines around them. And I could put you know, 2 on each canard, top and bottom or whatever. But I'd rather use them on the large project I'm going to do, just because there's going to be a lot of surface area to cover. And when you do minimal stickers on a large subject, it stands out. You notice the lack of stickers, I find. So we're going to save those for now. Plus I have to put a country sticker on there somewhere. And I've been debating. While I'm Canadian and I like putting Canada stickers on there, these United States ones here for all my brothers and sisters down south would actually not be too bad on that winglet there. So I might actually do that. The thing being is when you look at this as far as, you know, accuracy goes, the star in the middle of the circle, that's American, right? And that's totally cool. G.I. Joe's a little bit interchangeable in that regard. Some vehicles do have, if they had a sticker like this, not for Night Force, but if they had a sticker like this, there would be a maple leaf in there. So could you put the star with Canada? Of course you can. If you had even more custom stickers and it said, you know, United Kingdom or India or whatever country you're from in there, then yeah, sure, why not? That's something that I do that I kind of have to get over, is just kind of being a little more loose in my representation. That, and honestly, that comes from building model airplanes. That's straight where it comes from. Because as a kid, I think I mixed like American stars and bars with the Canada sticker. I didn't even put Canada on most of mine because I thought the United States looked cooler. So yeah, you're welcome. and there it is. So why don't we start? When I find that there's kind of decisions like that to make, let's start with what we know we want. And what we know we want right now is Night Force there and the little star there. So I've got my tweezers. I have 14 knives, so I'll pick one of them. And we'll get those first Night Force logos off. I have a few different sizes, and while that's large, you may say to yourself, I want to put a nice big one there. Well, you're limited by the width more than the height in this case, because the sticker is longer or wider than it is tall, however you want to look at it. So a little goes a long way as far as this color contrast goes. So I'm going to use this size of sticker, but actually from probably that sheet, just so I can, I mean, that sheet's good to go, so why... Let's take them off there because they're the same size, I think. Those ones are a little bigger. So will it work? That's the question. Will it work? Let's do a test here together and see what's going on. While the decision process behind stickers can be somewhat, I won't say frustrating, but certainly involved, it's the application process where the relaxation comes from. I promise. As I go crazy trying to get this right. And that's always it, right? You're trying not to be wrapped around the axle about 100% perfection, but at the same time, it's like you want it to look good. So now I'm landmarking. I'm just taking a look there. I like the size of that. That's actually quite excellent. And now I'm just landmarking. So where I'm trying to put it where I want it, and then see if there's a feature on here that I can line it up off of to do the other side the same way. Plus, in this case, with a curvy subject, there's no parallel line on the vehicle itself to really follow because everything is so flowy on this, more than you might think, actually. So if I leave that there... Oh, that's going to be a tough one to replicate, but who cares? I like where it is. So there we go. I'll take a closer look at that. So there's the Night Force, the first Night Force sticker on. Yeah! And I like that. I like that a lot. So it went a little bit above... Actually, you know what? That's not bad. That point is just a little bit above the bottom lip of the air intake. And it's about that far away. I think I can replicate that. Okay, so there's that one. Let's get the next one on. Let's get the next one on. Oh, wait, was that the... It's a little smaller, whatever. I try to stay on the same sheet. If I don't, I mean, really, does it matter? No. No, it doesn't. But if it matters to you, then try and take all the stickers off the one sheet first. Because it'll drive you nuts. Like, I've got a couple of these left over from previous projects that have like one sticker left on them because I don't want to throw it out because I might need it for a future project. So, and then we'll get that little star there. Ooh, let's take a look first. Do I like it up there? That's actually not bad. So what if I put that there and then the United States or Canada on the tail? It would have to be the square one. Let's take a look, and where's that square one? I'm gonna hold them both up there together. Where's the square one? It's in the pile of stickers to your front. Holy moly. So if I put just the United States on there, well, I mean, roughly the same size overall. Like they take up the same amount of space, visually speaking. I could put the United. Oh, oh, oh! I like that. Okay, I like the star on the tail. So I'm going to find somewhere close to where I want it and landmark it. Yeah, I quite like that. Yep, I like that. And then, what am I going to do here? I've got Canada on the other ones though. See, what I like about the United States, aside from the fact that it's a cool country, is that the rectangular, the thicker one there, where it's not all in one line like that Canada or even that United States, is I like that it's vertically stacked. And that would actually fill that space up rather nicely. So I'm gonna, you know what, let's try it. Let's do it live. See what happens. Worst case, I'll change my mind. Yeah, I could just come out here. I was thinking about this when I do these tutorials, and that when I think of a plan and I get really quiet, it's because I'm thinking about it, and I was like, well, I could edit that out, but really, that's kind of part of the process, and I like it that you can see that, so that, you know, you can see sometimes I'm hemming and hawing about something, or I'm thinking about it, and just in my brain, you might even be able to hear it working sometimes. You can hear all the gears grinding, but, or the hamster complaining that there's no more cheese on the wheel. But, yeah, I want you to see that process. So you don't just see me come out here and go, and I'm just going to randomly put these stickers on. And it's like this perfect application. It takes 2 minutes and it's done. It's like, how did he do that? So oh, I kind of like that a lot. I like that a lot. Okay, so now this shape too is also not parallel to the ground. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to make it parallel to the ground, not the air intake, because then it would be up at an angle like that, and that's silly. So it's going to be parallel to the ground and in the rough middle of that air intake. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Look at that. That's nice. That's nice. I know it seems like we're backloading this a little bit, but I promise you it's not going to stay that way. I'm zooming it off to the side here so I can see what it looks like. Oh, I like that a lot. There we go. United States for the win. Okay, so now that we've got that sorted out, that makes me feel so much better. Let's get the star on this wing down here. There we go. And the thing with placing these stickers on wings is that sometimes, depending on the toy, they kind of mimic real life or they don't. And in a lot of cases, the angle of this matches the angle of sweep of the wing, but this is a delta shape. So I don't know if I don't like having it on an angle like that. If the back end was swept as well, if it was a wing like that, then yeah, absolutely. But in this case, because the bottom is flat, I'm going to keep the top flat. In fact, I'm going to put it right there, but I'm not going to push it down yet, because what I want to do is I'm going to balance it off of the Night Force emblem that's going to go there. So let's get the other one on there. And on these sticker sheets, if you don't remember, because the shape is an overall chevron, some of the stickers are cut to be a chevron, and some of them are cut to be rectangular, so there's more glow-in-the-dark material behind them. And that opens us up for some more possibilities as far as applications go. So going through one of the other bajillion sheets of these things that I bought. Why a bajillion? Because I've got to, mister. Just kidding. I wanted to do a bunch of projects at once, and it takes forever to get this stuff shipped up from Mexico. So, well, that one even has a separate little American flag on it too. The United States and then the flag. That's neat. Okay. Oh, there's a tiny little Night Force thing there. Oh, I didn't even realize that. That might go on my snake armor. Maybe. There's only one though. We'll see. All right, and there's some more square United States, rectangular, whatever. It's a little bit bigger, so we'll save that for another project. So right now what I'm debating is whether or not I put on a rectangular one or a chevron one. And that's going to go on the wing here. I'm going to do the chevron one. The rectangular ones I find more suitable for vehicles, and you'll see what I mean at the end of this video, because there's actually going to be a bonus double reveal. So let's do a chevron. And it's going to be smaller, same size, whichever you like. I'm just checking to see if I have an odd number of one size, so that way I can use those. Of the smaller ones, anyway. Or if I'm fine with sacrificing one of those. Actually, I'll just use that one. There it is right there. Is that one small enough? Yeah, it's good enough. Maybe. We'll see. Thank goodness for background music, because while I'm hemming and hawing about this stuff, you guys are just watching me put stickers on it. Should be relaxing. If you're not relaxed right now, relax. If I put that on facing... It's a funny angle right here. I'm going to lift this thing up. Okay, so I'm going to put the middle of it on that aileron line. Flaps, whatever. No, I'm going to push it over to the left. It's too close to the right. And the thing with some of these vehicles, especially with modern vehicles, is they put way more detail in it. So there's more panel lines and all sorts of things in an effort to be, I don't know, more detailed. And I kind of want it roughly in line with the star on the other side here. And I think that works just nicely. So we're going to give that a little push. And there we are. So there's the top. So if we sit it on display like that, we've got some glow-in-the-dark action going on right there. And I love the way that works. Yeah, I know that star is a little bit closer to left than it is center. Or it's left of center, whatever you want to call it. But I really like where it is. I might try and push it a little bit right, but I don't want it to cross that line just so I can be nitpicky about it. Let's take a look. I think it's fine. We're going to leave it. We're going to leave it. Of course, I say that now and I'll change it later. All right, so there we go. Let's get that G.I. Joe serial number on there. This down here, this area here is going to be a little blank, but I'm fine with that. Or am I? Because what I could do is I have these empty serial numbers here, which are thin enough, they should fit right here. And then I could put a big G.I. Joe logo back there, but I think that's almost too much back there. Maybe. I have a couple of warning placards, maybe I'll put one of those back there, just to lighten up that space, but we'll see, we'll see. So let's do the G.I. Joe serial number thing. Oh, and I have two choices, because this is the second time I've ordered this sheet, and I have that G.I. Joe cereal right there left over. Which one do I like better? Well, the other one is physically smaller, which isn't a bad thing. So the question is, does this stay consistent enough in thickness of space that it will take the larger one? Because I don't mind using the larger one at all, if it'll work. So we'll just have to try it live. All right, so if I put that, oh, let's grab it at a proper angle here. That's the other thing too, right? Don't forget that depending on where you're putting your stickers, you may have to switch hands or something like that. So if I go all the way up to there, oh, I like the way that looks. Now I gotta hold this thing at a funny angle to try and get it on there, while trying to show you at the same time. Oh yeah, that's fantastic. So I think we're good right there. Yeah, I like that a lot. I really like that a lot. Yeah, this is blank and I'm fine with that for now. But let's see. So far what I like though is that we've got front, center, and rear as far as coverage goes. And I definitely like that a lot. So there we go. Let's get these done on the other side now. And carry on. Yeah, maybe. I'm still looking at that winglet there. And just seeing if there's something that needs to go on there. I don't mind seeing a little bit of blank, just blank gray there, but who knows? Other than that, I think that's a good level of busy. So, let's get the United States on there first. I was curious about that. If any of my American friends ever put Canadian stickers on their stuff, or if it's always United States. I remember mostly as a kid when I put the country stickers on, it was United States because it was G.I. Joe and it was a real American hero. And it was more authentic, I guess, whatever, realistic, accurate. but I wasn't too much of a stickler because some stickers I wouldn't even put on because I didn't like the way they looked. There's your center right there. But yeah, that's an interesting question. So yeah, leave a comment below if you've ever put Canadian stickers and you're American. I gotta say that's fortunate though. I mean, I don't know how it works. Like I know the UK has Action Force and stuff like that, but the fact that Hasbro was cool enough to put Canadian stickers for us Canucks for our G.I. Joe toys, I think is pretty sweet. Oh, that one's even bigger. Ooh. Oh, look at bigger. Look at that. No, I think that's good. That's good. It's always about that balance, right? Finding the right sticker for the right place, especially when you do it. Like I did a bulk order of these stickers, so there's a bunch of sheets of them, but I've got 3 to 4 more Night Force projects to do. So it's making sure I put the right sticker in the right place while also planning for future projects. So in this case, it's a bit of a balancing act, which is why I may seem a little wishy-washy in my application here. It's because I'm trying to plan 3 projects ahead. That's that, that's that. Was that one? Did I make a boot? I think that's the same size. I may have triple negative myself here, but we'll see. If that's a thing. Does 3 negatives make a positive? I don't know, I'm not an electrician. But we will take a look. Right now it's just being stubborn here. It is thicker paper. Certainly good quality. A few of the images are a little fuzzy, but I mean, that's getting really nitpicky here. Let's see what size that is. That's the same size. So we're good. It's probably not the best way to check, but all right, so just in line like that, a little bit so there, like that. Not pushing it on fully yet. That seems to be lined up like that. Now what I'm doing is I'm just holding my tweezers above the freshly placed sticker to see if it's in line with the other one, and I think it is. Just rechecking the alignment there. It could probably actually come up just a hair. Just a hair. If you're ever unsure, don't ever push the sticker fully down. Just push one part of it down so that it's, you know, enough. Like that. And then look. And then check. By holding the tweezers there, it gives you a better idea of where the height of that sticker is. And I'm going to say that we're good. I'd say that's good. How close does that come? Is it the same size? Seems to be. Maybe it's not. That's so weird. Right now I'm just checking to make sure that these stickers are indeed the same size. It's certainly an interesting point of caution while you're mixing sticker sheets. There it is. Yeah, we're good. Okay. I just made impromptu calipers. So yeah, we're good. All right, so we got that on there, that on there. Oops. A little bit of shaky cam for you. I promise it's not an earthquake. And what else are we gonna do? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Right, it's the E5. Yes, it is. So I need to take this one off of there. And it's this one here's the third sticker of 3, right? But for the other projects, I don't anticipate or can think of any surface that this would go on. Of course, I do that now, and I'll probably kick myself later, but that's fine. If these don't malfunction. It's entirely possible. There is no sticky on that. Ooh, that could be a problem. Okay, here's a real-time troubleshooting error for you. Sticker is not playing. Yeah, there's no thing on there. Of course not. Now, that's the problem with thicker sticker paper, right? If you want to replicate something like this, you're going to have some technical... There we go. Oh, oh sweet Jeebus. Sometimes I've seen it before where the sticker, like that, there's the backing separating from... That's not the backing, like that's the part the sticker sits on, the wax paper part. And it was coming up with the sticker, which is good for the adhesion of the sticker, but it can give you a bit of a heart attack when it comes off like that. But these ones are good. Worst case, you can always use some like a glue stick and just reattach. It's fine. If someone says, well, I'm not paying this much for that sticker, it's like, okay, man, that's cool. But these guys right now, as far as I know, are the only game in town for doing it, and their stickers are quite good. Toy Hacks does make Night Force stickers, if anybody's asking that question. If anybody's not, I'm going to answer it for you anyway. So, Toy Hacks does make them, but they don't glow in the dark. They did something cool in that they make a set of Night Force stickers that match the catalog. And if you look at the catalog from the 80s or whatever, so if you look at a Toys R Us flyer or catalog, whatever, you'll see that the Night Force stickers don't look like this. They're actually, like the font is red and it's not glow in the dark in the back. So that's what Toy Hacks made, which I thought was really cool. It just so happens that I prefer the glow in the dark version. So now I'm just checking the alignment of that G.I. Joe there and we're good to go. So let's get that star on the wing. What did I pick for my alignment point here? You guys were supposed to tell me this. Right, so the right spar of that star is just underneath the 4th rivet. Okay. I know it sounds really weird, right? But it can make a difference. It can make a difference. I'm very particular making sure the orientation of my stars is good because nothing kills me more. And I mean, you know, I know it's a toy and everything like that, but when you get a G.I. Joe toy, whatever, that you've wanted for a long time, and it's perfect except somebody put one of the stars on upside down. That just drives me up the wall. I think we're good there. So just a light placement. Just behind the leading edge a little bit, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, just like that. Boosh! And there it is. Okay. So there's our Night Force stickers. I was contemplating whether or not I wanted to put anything on the bottom here. It's quite, I won't say it's quite plain, because right now, visually speaking, it's got a lot going on. Does that sound like it? Maybe not, but I'll explain why. So you can see the gray wings, you can see the gray tails, you can see the black wheels. You can see 8 pieces of orange. And it's a bright orange. So there is a lot going on here, and the shape itself, of course, right, with the canards and then the big delta wings and stuff like that. So visually it's busy. The only thing that's missing, though, is an element of glow in the dark. And that is a bit of a signature for Night Force. And we can use that to our advantage in that, because this is a canoe-shaped bottom, if you've never been in a canoe, like all Canadians, that's how we get to work, right, in a canoe. You can actually see it from the bottom. So you don't have to put something necessarily on the bottom, like on the very bottom surface of that, the ventral surface. But something on the sides might work. See, that's not a bad size there. And there's this little panel line, but who cares? Because I kind of like what that does. I kind of really like what that does. Putting a sticker on the bottom like this is, let's call it normal. You see it on the Skyhawk and other vehicles as well. And I like treating it like as if they were flying overhead and you couldn't tell what it was. Well, now you can see the G.I. Joe logo because it glows in the dark. And it's like one of those identify friend or foe, you know, military type things or whatever. I quite like that. I don't know, call me crazy, but I think that works with the aesthetic. I think that works quite nicely. And from the side you can see a little bit of it there, so that's okay. But yeah, I quite like that, so that's going to stay until it falls off. Hopefully it doesn't. All right, so now we've got one last consideration here, and I think what I might do is, that's what we're going to do right there. So you can see there's 2 little danger stickers, and those are going to go on the underside of that fuselage split, just to make it just to carry it down a little bit more, just a little bit more. Maybe it might be a bridge too far, but who knows? Let's see, because I can, oh, yeah, see, you know what? Look at that. I like the way that looks. Right up against that panel line there. Let's make sure we're close to horizontal. Look at that. I like that. And it's a danger sign that points down to the cannons, because evidently some people need to be reminded that lasers can be dangerous. But it is what it is. I digest. All right, here we go. Last sticker for now until I change my mind when you're not watching. There we go. Oh, that's going to be fantastic. Right there. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at. Would you look at that? Would you just look at that? Look at that. Fantastic. And there we go. So, there's your Night Force vehicle stickerified. Don't need to put anything up here because we got these nice big versions here. We've got a nice balanced approach to the side. We're still leaving this blank for now. And the good thing is about leaving something blank is even if 2 years from now I decide to slap something there, I'll have the stickers for it. Got something on the underside. Just the one piece is all we need, I think. Could you put more if you're following along? Of course you could. But right now, it's got all the elements of Night Force. And I think that's really what you got to use is, does it tick all the boxes from all the angles? If that's what you're trying to do. So I know that may sound a little wishy-washy, but it's like the bottom of G.I. Joe vehicles are rarely, if anything, have too much done to them. So we have the black, the gray, the orange, and the glow-in-the-dark. From the side, we have the black, the gray, the orange, and the glow-in-the-dark. From the top, we have the black, the gray, the orange, and the glow-in-the-dark. So we're covered on all the different angles. Plus, we got the smoke canopy. So there is your Night Force dagger. This is not the final reveal because I just got an upgrade just for all you people watching. And then we're going to do a double reveal on that. And the double reveal will be the stickers I put on the Night Stinger that I did during the Minimalist series. So I'm going to show both of those to you right now. So to all my subscribers, thanks for watching. And if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next adventure at Talking Hands Custom. So in the meantime, be safe and have fun.